Hi, it's Dawn from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I have for us to do this cute little child's purse. But purse has got a little bit of a surprise in it. Let's open it up and see what the surprise is. It's a little baby cradle or a bassinet. And look, it's even got a baby inside. Look at that, isn't it adorable? Look at her. She's even got a cute little dress on. I just think she's adorable. So I made this using a Caron 1-pounder. You'll use about 420 yards of a medium 4 worsted weight yarn. Let's bring the camera down so we can talk about the yarn and the hooks and stuff that you'll need to make this project. So I use Caron 1-pounder. Obviously you won't use an entire 1-pounder to make that little purse, but you will use about 8 ounces of yarn. So you're going to need about half of a 1-pounder, but because you have 2 colors, you'll need to get 2 of them. You could use Red Heart Super Saver, but again, you're still going to need at least 2 of them because you're going to want at least 2 different colors. You could also use some scrap yarn if you wanted to make multiple colors in your doll purse. It's really up to you, but I would recommend a medium 4 worsted weight acrylic yarn, being that this is for a child and it's for a toy. You're going to want to have it so that it can be washed and dried. And you want a durable yarn as an acrylic because it can put up with a lot of tugging and playing with. So the colors I used for this example, I used light violet and white. The hooks that you will need to make this project are a 5.5 millimeter or an I crochet hook. And to make the little dress for the doll, you will need an F 3.75 millimeter hook, some stitch markers for this project, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. The doll itself is a 5-inch baby doll. So here she is right here. She is a 5-inch baby doll. Now I got them on Amazon. I got a set of 8 of them. So if you don't want an entire set of 8 of them, I think you can get what's called Lots of Love baby dolls from Mary Maxim or from Annie's. But you're going to be paying like about what I paid for 8 of them for one doll. I think they're like $5.99 plus your shipping for one doll on those websites. But on Amazon, I believe it was $19.99 for 8 dolls, and I have Amazon Prime, so it was free shipping. So it's $20 for 8 dolls, but it roughly works out to about, I believe, $2.50 a doll. So it's not too bad. I mean, you have extra dolls, you know, who knows, maybe you'll have other little girls that you want to make these for. Maybe they're, you know, if you have a granddaughter that you're making it for, or a niece, maybe her friends will want one too. Or you have more than one granddaughter or more than one niece or daughter, they might want, you know, you might want to make multiple little purses. So once you have all your supplies, let's jump right into making the baby doll cradle purse. We're going to start using our I 5.5 millimeter hook, our contrasting color, and a chain of 25. We're going to start second chain from hook. The loop on our hook does not count as a stitch, so we're going to 1, 2, and we're going to start with a single crochet. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way down the chain until we get to the last chain. in that last chain, we're going to work 4 single crochets. So continue working 1 single crochet into each stitch till you get to that last chain where you're going to work 4 single crochets. I will meet back up with you at the end of the chain. I'm at the end of the chain and I'm going to work those 4 single crochets into that last stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work along the back side of the chain in those free loops. So work 1 single crochet into each one of the free loops along the back side of the chain. When you get to the last chain, I want you to place 3 single crochets into that last chain, and then we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet that we did to join. You should have 52 single crochets. I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of the round and I'm going to slip stitch to that first single crochet that we made. We now have 52 stitches. To start round 2, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to place a single crochet back into that same stitch right here that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to place 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Now if you have trouble remembering where that first stitch is, this is where you can get out a stitch marker. And you can go ahead and place a stitch marker into that very first stitch that you single crocheted in. And continue working 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around to get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I've made it all the way back around, and I can go ahead and take that stitch marker out and slip stitch into that first single crochet that we made. Now rows 3 through rows 14 are exactly the same. I'm going to chain 1, single crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and single crochet into each stitch around. Again, if you need to place that stitch marker in that first stitch, go ahead and do so. And single crochet in each stitch around. So you're going to repeat this till you have 14 rows of single crochet. It's going to start folding up and looking like a little pouch. So continue working your single crochets for 14 rows, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of row 14 where we're going to change colors to our main color. I'm at the end of round 14. We still have 52 stitches. Let's take out the stitch marker. And we're going to slip stitch to that first single crochet that we made. But we're also going to change colors. So let's pull up our new color. And chain 2. Now we're going to start the skirt portion of our cradle purse. We can go ahead and snip off our purple, but let me just pull up this loop here because we're going to be done with that. And I'm going to go ahead and tie a little knot because I like to tie a knot in my ends when I change colors. That's up to you. You don't have to. I would suggest working over the ends of your tails, but for tutorial purposes, I'm going to go ahead and let them lay down and I will weave them in later. So to start the first round of our skirt, we're going to go ahead and put 2 double crochets back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, but we're going to be working in the back loop only. So we're going to go right into that back loop and put 2 double crochets. And if you're unfamiliar with your front loop and your back loop, this is the front loop and this is your back loop. And we're going to be working just for this round, just in this back loop right here. So in our next stitch, we're going to go right into that back loop and put 2 double crochets. And all the way around, we're going to put 2 double crochets into every stitch in the back loop only. So please continue working 2 double crochets into each stitch, back loop only, to get back around to the beginning. I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I've made it all the way back around. We now have 104 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch to the first the first double crochet that we made. To start round 2, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to double crochet into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to, the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. And the next stitch, 1 double crochet, and the next stitch, 2 double crochets. And the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And that's going to be the repeat all the way around. So it's going to be 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet. So please repeat this all the way around to get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 2. We now have 156 double crochets. We're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet that we made. For round 3 through round 6, it's going to be exactly the same. So we're going to chain up 2. We're going to double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So please continue placing 1 double crochet into each stitch around for rounds 3 through 6, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of round 6. I'm at the end of round 6. We still have 156 stitches. We're going to slip stitch to that first double crochet that we made. For round 7, we're going to chain up 2 and double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. Chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next. This round we're making a round that we can weave in handles for the purse. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and double crochet into the next. This is going to be the repeat all the way around. We chain 1, skip the next stitch, and double crochet into the next, and chain 1. So please repeat this all the way around till we get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round.